It was so fun. I need an Ashnikko and Thomas Slinger like sample pack right now. Like I want to buy one. Can I please contact someone and get some of these sounds in my possession? Hey everyone, how's it going? For those of you who are new here, my name is Jacob Williams. I am a professional music producer and composer. Let's give some love to our patrons. You people are watching this right now on Patreon because this is a Patreon exclusive. And again, to those of you in the future that are seeing this on YouTube, hello from the past. And today we're going to be talking about an album that I have been wanting to check out for a while. Ever since Paint the Town Blue came out, which was on the Season 2 soundtrack for Arcane, I've had that song on my gym playlist for like a year and a half now, and at least it feels like it's been that long. It's probably only been a year. But either way, it's a banger. It slaps. And I've had to listen to a bit of Ash's music before. I've had to listen to Daisy and I think some stuff off of the other album for a client before. I really like some of the weird aesthetic choices that Ash uses, coupled with the industrial rock tendencies, a lot of the sort of darker, more rap, trap tones that she likes to use in her music, and also the huge electronic influence that comes from her producer, Thomas Slinger, who I know as Gemini from back in the day. And Gemini used to inspire a lot of work that I did back in the day when I was starting with music production, specifically in the chill step, dubstep, bass music area of music. And seeing Thomas have a lot more versatility in his production on Ash's work, as well as Ash's versatility as an artist, has made me really interested in checking this album out. I know it's been out for a while now, but I'm always late to the party, as you guys know. Let's dive right in to track 1, World Eater. Plug in and have a ball. Hold on. I'm doing this song a lot of injustice so far. Let's rewind, and I'm going to crank my volume up. This is a way to open up an album for sure. I love how high energy this is. I love the ad-libs. I like the vocal layers. They're very like low. They're very gritty. I even like that sample in the back that's kind of like this low like string thing just being played on an MPC. And the 808 game is top notch here. I mean, this thing is just huge.
Small bullets, hit the gas, pedal, scrap metal, get to running. Combat mode, you know the cyborgs coming. These hey, my flesh, I love it.
Oh. Okay, so really quick, we're going to talk about modes here. So the song is in a minor key right now, which minor keys are usually used for darker songs or songs that are more sad. But in this case, we're getting something called a mode. And it's a huge, crazy music theory thing that I'm not going to get into right now, but I'm detecting that this might be on the Phrygian scale or the Mixolydian scale, somewhere around there. It's definitely a song that starts not on the tonic of the scale, because of the way that Ash's voice is sort of going up to the harmonic or to the leading tone that probably shouldn't be there, but it is. And I almost want to say it could just be harmonic minor and I could just be tricking my ears out, but I want to say it's either harmonic minor or Phrygian for sure, because there's a lot of tension in that scale that's being used in the song right now, but I'm really liking how catchy and hooky it is. Ooh. Okay, I kept trying to pause, but it was just so good. I had to keep letting it play. The filter before it transitioned back into that drop felt like a nice like phase distortion. Felt like maybe a phase distortion mixed with a high cut. And when you couple that together with automation, it can actually make some really cool combinations, just depending on what you have kind of go first. If you have your filter duck first, or if you have your phase, part of the phase distortion tweak first. Those knobs were definitely moving.
Kiss my bullets, hit the gas, pedal, scrap metal, get to running. It's hey, my flesh, I love it.
Ooh. Wow. That was a really cinematic way to start this off. I mean, hearing just those big blom textures come in with they were definitely, it was a bass synth and a horn and a kick. Let's see how, and I want to double check my facts here. Yeah, based on the play count here, I want to say that You Make Me Sick, which is the track coming up, is the lead single. Either that or Worms. No, it's definitely, yeah, it's Worms. Yeah, I'm blind. It's Worms. Lots of interesting sounds happening on this album so far. Let's let it go right into track 2, You Make Me Sick.
You made me sick. You made me turn my insides out into the bricks. I could never train a bitch like you click, 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 click. You like my
Okay, that's really cool. So 2 things. Ash's voice is very rough and very gritty right here. She has a very cool like tendency to go down into that rough low range that's really hard to hit, especially if you have a higher vocal range, but it's just very different. It's a very unique tone.
scratch you like a little rotten fruit. On your jugular and liver, pretty blues. Attitude and the booze won't save you. You fucking loser. Red me, deadbeat, fucking tumor. Can't believe I let your head just in my bloomers.
Oh my goodness.
I got humor, got a knife too. I call it Tilda. Bet your fucking ass that I'm a user. Fucking user. Cocaine, crack, your life is a blooper. Splinter looking ass more than a sewer. Suck a dick tonight, but I'm mature. Go find another bitch to hoover. Count the days until you lose her.
We got to talk about the vocal technique happening on here. That's a very raw, like punk rock, like hardcore punk kind of vocal technique happening here. I was going to call it a scream, but it's not quite a scream yet. It's like a more rough, gritty, gravelly, sounds like something just straight out of hardcore punk, but over a rap electronic beat. And it just sounds so cool. It sounds so unique. And I love the way it's wide panned. It is definitely probably a very hard vocal style to EQ as well. Like with equalizers, usually your job is to take out unwanted frequencies and to boost wanted frequencies just to make your mix overall like balanced is the term that we use in the music production world. And I could tell that those vocals are really hard to mix, not from like a sloppy performance standpoint, but from it's a rough technique to even execute. And it's got a lot of like low sub bass frequencies. So trying to make it not slam directly against those 808s is really hard to do. So I gotta really commend a good job where it's being done, and that mix is definitely really good. That was a scream. Oh. Oh, hold on. That guitar sample was so good. What tuning was that in? That had to have just been like a low string hit with a bunch of processing on it. So far, what I'm liking is the beat style is very consistent, and the 808 and the bass synth take major precedence in the mix, so they're definitely dominating a lot of the mix space here. But anything extra that Ash and Slinger want to throw in here is like, I don't know, high noises, like guitar samples that don't have a lot of low to it, just to keep their mix bed consistent, to keep that low end pumping and to not interrupt it abruptly with, like, I don't know, sounds that might eat up too much of that precious low end that needs to be occupied by the 808. Oh, this is another thing really quick. So the vocal effects right now, definitely just EQ and compression, but the main thing we got to focus on here is the echo. The echo is so calculated right now to where a note happens, like Ash sings a note, and then it just instantly repeats. It's not slap back. It's like a step above slap back. It's like an eighth. I want to say it's an eighth delay or even a 16th. So bam, bam, that way it constantly keeps the vocal bed active. Like even when there are no syllables happening in the rap, it's just constantly going with it.
Beautiful. I'm mad. You for my life, I'll let you say my bad. You don't know your way around the pussy, call you Chad. Throwing temper tantrums every time I got a bag. Kinda sad, little mad, how I'm mad. You made me sick. You made me turn my insides out into the bricks. I could never train a bitch like you click.
That was absolutely bad. It was just incredible. I mean, like, I'm always a big fan of, like, okay, trap beats, sure, but beats that kind of go above and beyond and don't just have nothing but like sub to it. This has a lot of like those harmonic frequencies right above where 808s sit, where it makes it nice and crunchy, like this big crunchy sound. And the ethereal sort of reverbedness of the song also helps with that, because the reverbs, I think, are scooped in the lows. I think that way a lot of the reverb and a lot of the processing on the vocals comes through on the highs and occupies that part of the mix and doesn't necessarily clash with any of these crazy harmonics that are happening between the 808 and the low gruffness of Ash's voice. It's just a really incredible series of choices made here, because this isn't too industrial punk rock hardcore. This also isn't too rap. It's also not too electronic. It's a very nice mix of the three styles. Let's move on to the lead single, track 3, Worms. We got some reggae ska stuff coming in here. We haven't done anything. Not even 21 Pilots had reggae and ska stuff on their recent album. So yeah, this will be a first.
The world is burning, I got worms in my brain's gonna bleach my eyebrows, change my name. The world is burning and I laugh at the blaze, gonna bleach my eyebrows, change my name. Play my life.
What I like is even when Ash does more singing material, like doesn't do the rough, screamy, guttural, hardcore stuff, when she just sings, you can even hear just a little bit of that rap sort of swing to it. Like, I feel like she usually, and I heard this in Daisy when I had to use it for a job reference, there was, like, she has a tendency to kind of stay within that hooky rhythmic sort of thing. And I think that's kind of what makes her vocal sound really unique. Not just the low, mid, rough thing that she's good at doing, but also that rhythmic sort of pulse that she likes to have, even when melodically singing. I think it's really cool.
Toothpaste, I roll around in blue paint, thinking of new ways that I can self-sabotage. Oh well, it's too late, my whole body mutates, my head spins, my neck breaks, I love a self-sabotage.
What I love about that phrase right there is, particularly, we're going to talk about lyrics. So I like that the first couple of lines rhymed and the last one didn't. But what it did is it went down in melody so that it added a nice contrast to the overall phrase. And another thing, so far this is all melodic, no screams, no rough. So even as a whole on the album, you have a dynamic contrast just across the entire overall vibe, but we still have that signature 808 just kicking in at the right moments.
New day, got a brand new grin, got a colony
Hear those backing vocals? So now we're in the post-chorus. Now we're in the part after the main hook where we have like an additional hook, maybe acting like a bridge given the amount of song length we have left. I almost want to say it's trying to be like a counter melody bridge type of thing right now. Let's find out.
Keep my besties and big wheelies on my mind. I watch it splatter into the sky. She's made of red raspberry jelly and all American pie.
Oh,
Brand new day,
that auto-tune sounds so good.
got a colony of ants underneath my skin. My bones decay, now I'm gelatin. I swear I'm Miss Parasite Possessor. The world is burning, I got worms in my brain's gonna bleach my eyebrows, change my name. The world is burning and I laugh at the blaze, gonna bleach my eyebrows, change my name. Play my life like a video game, I don't mind. I'm driving through flames and I'm riding through the desert with the sword on my back. I'm in a what the fuck monster truck, wanna go fast.
Okay. That song is going to be in my head for a while now. Like how hooky it was. I like that it didn't forego the industrial sort of setting that we've established for this album. It also didn't let go of the trap. It wasn't a huge change, but it was a change enough to where it felt like the single of the album. It felt like the catchier, more like to the point song on the album. I mean, You Make Me Sick was to the point, but that was a little more out there and different with the screaming and the gutturals for sure. Let's move on to track 4, Super Soaker. It looks like we have a featured artist on here. I don't know who that is, but we're going to see how they sound. Ooh, okay. So right now the main rhythm is being played by that little synth down there, and then accompanying it is this little weird vocal chop going starting off with both a regular melody and a counter melody. Kind of puts the listener in a state of just like I don't know how to describe it. There's got to be a scientific way to sort of establish what I mean by that, but it kind of puts them in a point where they're focusing on two different things, so it leaves them almost in a sense of anticipation. Even if there's no tension going on or no like strict dissonance, it makes it so that the entire soundscape of your song is keeping the listener, I'm just gonna be blunt, it keeps your listener controlled, keeps them in this in the state of controlled while you're bringing in sort of the main source of the song, which is gonna be the vocals here in a minute.
Get hurt, bound with the curse. Don't want this bubble to burst. Bees and the birds, even the plants are perverse. Unquenchable thirst, hands up my shirt.
That was cool. So instead of a trap beat, we get these nice 4/4 club EDM sort of stomping kicks coming in here. And then shortly after that, there's some like vocal effects that make Ash sort of trail off into the distance, which doesn't happen very often. You can hear a little bit of echo, but it starts to trail off around like bar 3, bar 4 before the next bar comes in. So it acts as like a nice little tail or a sort of lead off into the next part. I like how crisp those hi-hats are. Listen to that. Oh, Foreman filter. Hello. Okay, so that was cool. For those of you who don't know what a Foreman filter is, it's essentially like, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a filter. I think we've talked about it a couple of times on this channel, but essentially what it is so your voice has tendencies to either get more nasal or to get more open like this. And what a format does is it's auto-tune's version of doing that. So instead of like you having to do that yourself, the auto-tune can like robotically do it for you, like depending on how you or the producer like move the automation around type of thing, right? But it's a great way to add character to a vocal performance, especially in the modern age where it's more accepted to have little cool techniques like that come out. And it just kind of adds just, yeah, more dynamic without you having to just literally pitch shift it down. It just kind of gives it more character, I guess.
My skin is sticky, she speak to me. Caught in a circle, she tried me dancing, I bleed.
Ooh, instead of open hi-hats, we have those like breaths coming in, that little samples sort of coming in rhythmically afterwards.
My skin is sticky, she speak to me.
Ooh, nice chops. Okay, so I think this is the feature. The way their vocals are being processed right now is really cool. So there's a lot of like wet knob only stuff happening where the reverb completely takes over and the dry signal of the vocal doesn't go into the reverb. So it's literally like plain vocal and then definitely not plain vocal and then back to plain vocal and then definitely not plain vocal. Oh, that melody is really good. Ooh, cool little effect right there. So I think the other drop before the hook didn't really have that sort of crunchy effect thing, but we have it here. So kind of a cool way to change up both of those song sections without making them too repetitive.
The vines reach out and wrap around my legs, I'm in a bind. Flowers bud and grow up from the space we intertwine. Writing poetry about her eyes, she's defiant, fuck me blind, I'm alive.
So that counter melody that we heard at the beginning with the synth is now higher pitched. It's going ba, 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 da, da. And then now we have Ash's ad-libs kind of going off over on the left headphone along with it. Yeah, that was cool. So it was a different song, and it definitely kind of took us out of that industrial rap, rock, electronic thing that Ash is kind of, I would say, is like a staple of her sound. But I liked kind of having that little intermission. It almost kind of felt like a Sophie moment in a way, like having just this like more in the middle kind of song. And it had a bit more melodic tendencies, kind of like Worms. Let's move into track 5, Don't Look at It. Ooh, okay, that hyper break at the beginning, spot on. That was a lot of just high-pitched, heavy modulated samples right before the beat kicks in. Genius. Ooh.
All the girls at my party.
I don't even know what you call this. So sometimes a lot of beats have these like little high moments, kind of like I don't know, they remind me of like Kendrick Lamar or something, where they have like these sort of skittering like percussion, but they're tonal still. Like sometimes with those little high pitched like tonal percussions, what you want to do is sort of take something that's like thin. Like I've done it before with like the bottom of a guitar, like the part that like shows like the strings coming out over before they get like actually strung. And I like hitting like things like that, running them through a low cut filter of some sort, and then just compressing the heck out of them to really bring out all of that color. And
she started, I wanna germs, steady swapping. All up in my heart, they lay departed. Call her eyes, cause she melt in my mouth. Butterfly, she migrating south. She's defined and I'm default. Hold my body like a swordfish, she know she gotta catch. Thumb on my jeans, baby, don't look at my ass.
That was really sick. So right as this hook came in, these little hi-hat things started skittering at the top, and then we have like a way high pitched 808 just going doo all the way down. That's really unique. That's a good way to spice up your beat. But as I was saying earlier, and I'll edit this back into the beginning.
So her fish, you know she got a catch. Tongue on my jeans, baby, don't look at my ass. Don't look at it. I'm shy, gooey, like a gusher. Tony Hawk, I'm doing tricks until my tongue hurts. Ewy, in the gutter. I can't help that I want to be titty smothered. Call her eyes, cause she melt in my mouth. Butterfly, she migrating south. She's defined and I'm default. Hold my body like a sword.
What are the lyrics in this song, dude? Like, so far, like the vocal ability and the beat are just top notch, but these lyrics are just like they're just making me go wow. So yeah, that I could definitely see this also being kind of like a middle of the album sort of track leading into the next one. It looks like the next one might even be a single based on the play count.
Baby, don't look at my ass. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. I know you want to, don't you dare. Don't look at it.
Ooh! I do want to talk about that. So as the vocals get more intense and the layers get more intense as the song's about to finish out, I think it's really cool that even the production kind of trips out. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Just has a lot more stutters, a lot more distorted toms, just things to sort of keep you in suspense, rather.
Okay, go look at it.
Okay, the way that ended was funny with the lyric flip. I kind of like that. That was awesome. All right, track 6, Cheerleader. Ooh, scary so far. What is that?
Game face on, hit the post like perfect. Smack my face on the pavement. Nursing, stitch me up, send me back out to dance. Pick my shorts on my ass and my bloodstained hands. KO'd, came to, felt a little funny. Heart full of spiders, legs made of gummy. Who do I have to kill to make everybody love me? I want it, I win it, call it ambition.
I love the amount of confidence in Ash's voice right now. Like, it's just it's so like hip hop, like in terms of its attitude and like her overall energy on this song. But the instrumental is so like polished. Like, there's a lot of textures. If you listen in there, that sample, she seems very big on using like these otherworldly samples, like very sitar, very like different ways of using a guitar. Maybe I can't really pinpoint what instruments those are. Like, I'm liking it because it's sticking to a lot of like harmonic minor, Phrygian scale, like stuff that's like not very common.
Broken jeans, pheromones and pheromones. Drama queen, make murder scenes. Cutthroats and I feel better. Hate me 'cause I'm beautiful, bitch, I don't like you either. Cheerleader, 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 cheerleader. Tell me how my ass tastes, little bottom feeder. Cheerleader, 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 cheerleader. Hate me 'cause
That was what? Okay.
beautiful, bitch, I don't like you either. Cheerleader, 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 cheerleader. Honey, I'm the leader, you don't have a future. Bring it on, chance, you win, bring it on, bitch. Sexy, cute, popular to boot. Cup of Drano, lips turn blue. Filler, snip and glue. Am I fuckable enough for you? I'm not a girl.
Oh, that was crazy. Now I see why they commissioned Ash for the Arcane soundtrack, because she already has that big like cinematic sound to her music. That this big sound coupled with Ash's like humor and like sort of sarcastic like attitude on this just really help it all sort of come together and feel like just this unique it's like it's a dark song, but it's a feel good vibe. Do you guys get what I'm saying by that? Like, it's hard to explain, but that's how it's making me feel right now.
Wrapped in a skin suit, perfect chick. God made me pretty, you made me. I brought a plate to the dance routine.
God made me pretty, you made me mean. That is such a cool lyric. And that plays into like from a songwriting standpoint, using opposites, like using words that are opposites to add that lyrical contrast to whatever phrase that you're talking about.
It's a piece of broken dreams, pheromones and phenomines. Drama queen make murder scenes, cutthroats and I feel better. Body breaks and limousines, gorgeous girls, guillotines. Drama queen, hate me 'cause I'm beautiful, but I don't like you either. Cheerleader, 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 cheerleader. Honey, I'm the lead role, you don't have a future. Be alright, chance you will, bring it on, bitch.
Ooh.
Be alright, chance you will, bring it on, bitch. Be alright, chance.
The main vibe of the song has completely gone now, and it's just exploded into this minimalistic yet really big, just compressed beat. I can't even give it a genre because it's like glitch, electronic, hip hop, breakbeat. I don't know. It's just huge. These drums are just ginormous.
Bring it on, bitch. Be alright, chance you will, bring it on, bitch.
Oh,
Be alright, chance you will, bring it on, bitch.
that song is definitely a favorite for me. I loved the uniqueness of it. I liked Ash's ability to switch between rap and singing vocals while also keeping that just really subtle grit. Again, we haven't had another like sort of screamy hardcore moment like on You Make Me Sick, but we have had aggressive, very attitude and anger driven like vocals on this that sort of encompass that emotion that she's trying to channel very well. And on top of it, it was really catchy. I thought it was full of hooks and definitely a good pick to either be the second or the third lead sort of track or single from this for sure. Let's move into track 7, Moonlight Magic. Now, right off the gate, just based on the title of this, I'm imagining a more melodic cut, but we'll see how it pans out long term.
Are you the moon, babe? Pulling the tides in my body. Are you the moon, babe?
That was really cool. So I didn't expect to get like electro pop on this or like funk or like anything that's sort of like a pop dance break. I literally went into this album not expecting pop at all. So shout out to Ash for leaving us in the unexpected, because I didn't even think, like, I've heard songs like Daisy before that have, I guess, a little bit of that more melodicness to it, but I wasn't imagining sort of that bouncy sort of pop feel at all anywhere on this album.
Not immune to you. I'm only human. You something else. This ain't what I'm used to. But it consume you. Ooh, like that.
That's cool. So instead of just a pop like little bass synth with it, we get these full on like guitar chugs going with it and making the overall mix just swirl in to what's about to happen right now. It's very groovy. It's very hits a lot of those low frequencies just right, just like the other songs on the album, but instead of being 808 led, we have this really nice bass synth and this really thick guitar riff leading us into it. So again, keeping that Paint the Town Blue vibe, but also just doing a bunch with it. And I know that this came out before that, but that's really my only comparison as a listener to sort of like call back to.
You do something wicked to me. Yeah, I like that. Mystical when you seduce me. Make me climax. Now our bodies intellectual sex like, oh my god. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. I like that, yeah. I'm not immune to you. I got that. I'm only human. You.
Something in the production is doing like a record scratch thing, but it's like a synth, like it's going whoop whoop, like it's just a really quick like dubstep bass, but like all mid processing in the bass, just going whoop whoop, sucking us back into the groove. That was really sick.
What I'm used to, but it consume you. Ooh, like magic. I feel like a fucking groupie. Yeah. White watching help me, I'm drooling. I'm obsessed with you. Do your wicked things to me. Do your wicked things to me. Ooh, put your body on mine.
Okay, hold on. Things are happening. So now that we're in the breakdown of the song, the distortion from the guitar has gone away completely and it's all just clean tones, which is a great way. I mean, rock bands have been doing it forever. Rock and metal bands do this stuff all the time, but having a section where your guitar tones or your harmonics or your distortion just completely goes away is a great way to sort of die down the energy right before bringing them back. I like those vocals soaring up right there. Ooh, subtle thing. So what Ash did with her voice right there is she made it like go into fried like just a little bit, just into that raspy sort of high fry range, just a little bit, just to add more energy to those last couple of notes.
Are you the moon, babe?
Ooh. That groove is insane.
I'm only human. This ain't what I'm used to. But it consume you. Oh, like magic.
So that was really good. And one of the things that didn't hit me till much later is the snare was actually really unique in that song. So what I really like about that snare is it felt very airy. It didn't have a lot of punch in the low end. It just kind of felt like this industrial like kind of sound, like just a very high, like grainy, distorted kind of snare that didn't really have a ton of low mids. It wasn't super punchy, and that's on purpose. It's to make it so that it bounces with the kick drum more. At least that's what I'm assuming. I don't know. I'm not in the producer's head, but that's why it's to make it, to kind of give it that industrial sort of sound while also making it work with the sort of pop, electro pop groove that's kind of going right there. All right, let's move on to track 8, Miss Nectarine. Ooh.
Scared of what I'm feeling.
That was really cool.
The bruise of being 14. Got chlorine in our hair. My jaw is shaking in my mouth. Everybody's mama got some spouters in their ornamented houses. Can't pretend that I don't want you right here, right now.
I like how airy and more pop driven this song is so far. And I also think that it's a really nice stylistic change going into the second half from the first half. The first half was very gritty, very like punk rock. This is leaning more like, definitely Cheerleader and Onward so far is leaning more pop and melodic for sure. But I'm also liking that sustained chord kind of going right there. That sustained, synth hit that's happening right there, being played rhythmically. A nice compliment for how Ash is kind of holding up that higher mid range of the song right there.
Both our homes are not safe for us. But I'll play hero and I'll save you from
Ooh. Are we gonna get a dance break?
Meet me 1:15 at the farm down by your house. I'll be there. Say you wanna practice for the boys who won't love you like I will.
Ooh.
They won't love you like I will.
I love that. It won't love you like I will. They won't love you like the way it like repeats is a really nice and very nice catchy rhythm.
Love you like I will. They won't love you like I will. It's nectarine. Jawbreaker sweet. No one's got me but me.
Nice call back to the intro, bringing that back into this top drop.
Short shorts and stolen liquor. There's nothing I wouldn't give her. Cut my heart out for a kiss. She tastes like lemonade. I'm the one who took the fall. Your parents screamed and blamed it on me. Sent you off and prayed my gay away that Sunday.
Love that.
Are not safe for us. I'll play hero and I'll save you from him. Both our homes are a tornado. Meet me 1:15 at the farm down by your house. I'll be there. Say you wanna practice for the boys who won't love you like I will. They won't love you like I will. Guess I'll always be your second choice. They won't love you like I will. They won't love you like I will.
Do you hear that synth coming in, doing like a counter melody? That's I love how subtle it is too. It's hidden behind all the kick drums and behind all the snares. Right there. All right. Yeah, that was a good one. I liked how smooth it was. It was a little less like on edge compared to the rest of the songs. I also like some of the dynamics, like major to minor. It didn't have that sort of Phrygian tension that we had in some of the other songs, and some of the production choices were more subtle on it. And sometimes there's some notes that we can take there in terms of like whether songs go for minimalism or not. Let's move on to track 9, Chokehold Cherry Python. Oh, what is that?
I'm a ticking time bomb. Living villain, dire icon. You should sleep with the light on.
So far, this is the most Paint the Town Blue song that we have on here. This is so like industrial rock. It's not even funny.
Hold cherry python. Shut up, be quiet. Watch me go, guys. Tell me double, I'm a liar. I'm the team's best hitter. Hey, that MTK. Hey, then get up.
Oh.
Hey, blood on my face. Hey, then get up. I'm a ticking time bomb. Living villain, dire icon. You should sleep with the light on.
Oh, wow. I love the rhythm there. It's all triplets. It's all din it, din it, din it, din, din, din it, din it, din it, din. It's very triplet heavy, which is kind of a trap leaning thing too. Like if you think of Designer, like Timmy Turner, it kind of has that similar flow to it. It leans on that rap influence a little bit, but it also pushes more into the industrial stuff with the distortion, the like doubler that's laid out on the vocal, a lot of the guitars coming in.
Shut up, be quiet. Watch me go, guys. Tell me double, I'm a liar. I'm the team's best hitter. Menacing figures fall from the sky. Symbols and sigils, I saw the signs. Rats in the sewers, death on the mind. I turn the sights on you, baby, all night.
So I really like that. That felt less like a pre-chorus. I think that was meant to be the pre-chorus, but it felt more like a B section, which is a device that's used in a lot of rap music. Yeah, no, I like that because now we have the mix, right? We have that really hyped industrial rock part, and then now we have like the more like relax. And some of the vocal layers on here are really cool. It sounds like they're running through vocal synth 2 or something like that. Just
I'm a ticking time bomb. Living villain, dire icon. You should sleep with the light on. Chokehold cherry python. Shut up, be quiet. Watch me go, guys. Tell me double, I'm a liar. I'm the team's.
so this is something I actually didn't notice until right now. I don't know if this was the case in the beginning part or not. But what I heard is the ad-libs, like the vocal layers, are whispered. They're like not full bodied like vocalizations. They're very whispered and very low key, which is cool because it fills out a lot of the high frequencies in the mix while also just sounding really edgy and really like industrial rock and kind of like what Ash is going for on here. And I love how like distorted everything is. Like it's not distorted beyond hearing, but it's literally, it's enough to make you hear the layers, but they're also blended enough with the distortion's help. This better be a breakdown. All right, we're back to the A section. I'm pausing because I have a feeling this song is going to lead into the next track. Let's have this transition into the next song, which is the title track, track 10, Weed Killer. Riffs, man. Ooh, okay. Oh. Oh, so it's such a typical like trap thing to just add like little like gun load up sounds before your beat drops. I like how like straightforward this is. It feels a little more like the first couple of songs on the album, so it feels like we're coming like full circle here in terms of a vibe. But yeah, I mean the beat slaps. It's got like incredible bass, and I like how just aggressive the song sounds. It's just like pent up. It's a total like workout and just blow steam song for sure.
And my roots in the pavement, no stimulation. I'm gonna photosynthesize. But always knew we would come to this. I would be the one to eliminate you. Weed killer, running with scissors. Every night to the broken ribs. I will be the one to eliminate you. Weed killer, weed killer.
Ooh. I don't even think that was formant filter right there. I think that was literally Ash just going really low and really open throat on that little vocal phrase right there. I also want to appreciate the melodic layers in the background going between just doing like the sample melody and then also doing these blip blip like chiptune electronic EDM synthesizer stuff, but it's very low key. It doesn't overpower the mix. It literally sits exactly where it needs to. Oh wait, hold on. What was that? Oh, okay. That I thought that was a Pokemon reference. That was not. It was completely not a Pokemon reference. Oh, you guys hear those low chugs?
My roots in the pavement, no stimulation. I'm gonna photosynthesize. But always knew we would come to this. I would be the one to eliminate you. Weed killer, running with scissors.
Oh, that's so good.
To the broken ribs. I will be the one to eliminate you. Weed killer. Photosynthesize, you're no friend of mine. Crowd freeze and crystallize. Cut the power lines, slugs, fantasize. Little weed killing on the lawn is mode.
That has to be a guitar running through like 3 stacks of Bit Crusher or something. Like that sounds like it's being played by a stringed instrument, but it feels synthetic. So that has to be like a guitar just running through all kinds of crazy pedals, or at least like plug-in VST stuff. And it's definitely compressed very well. Yeah, that was pretty good. I like that it went back to the banger vibe that we had from the first couple of tracks on here. And Cheerleader as well being in the middle. Let's see how this album progresses into these next 3 songs. Let's check out track 11, I Want It All. Or, sorry, Want It All. I don't know why I added an I there. Track 11, Want It All. We got those Melanie Martinez little toy box, music box noises. And a really unique sounding distorted 808. Ooh, wow. I like when 808s aren't just laid on the beat. My biggest pet peeve is when I'm sent a beat reference and the 808 is just sitting in the mix and it's not moving tonally, because I personally feel like bass should be harmonizing. It should be moving with the music. It's different if like you have it playing the same note over and over again on purpose because that's the note you want to hit. But I've always been bothered by beats. This is just a personal thing. I've always been bothered by beats where the 808 just sits there. It doesn't move. It doesn't have any dynamic. It doesn't move up, move down in the scale, nothing. It just sits like just that basic like C or D sharp and doesn't move. Samples, like we got strings, we got toy box, music box stuff. Now we got horns. Like, what is happening? Nice auto-tune, man. Oh, that sounds so good. I like how like nasty but also clean this sound is. Like like it's got like very gritty, dirty, rough tendencies to it, but it's also very polished at the same time. Even when the riffs and the vocalizations are just so caked, they sound clean and just well compressed. Whoa, where we going? Where we going? That was an interesting little refrain right there. You hear those guitar layers coming up? They're doing the same notes as the horn and like string samples happening there. So all the cinematics are doing the exact same notes as the guitar right now. So it's just this perfect blend of just dissonant melodic minor harmony happening right now. Ooh. It was so fun. I need an Ashnikko and Thomas Slinger like sample pack right now. Like I want to buy one. Can I please contact someone and get some of these sounds in my possession? And speaking of possession, we're going to move on to track 12, Possession of a Weapon. Ooh. Who's doing the really cool like choir vocals back there, like the chamber, just big open singing vocals? Who's doing that? Ooh, it sounds really cool. Eyes in the sky crying geysers. Ooh. Out there I have private desires. How cool is that? Do you hear those vocal chops slithering around back there? Like we got this nice big ethereal mood. Right now that album cover is how I feel listening to this. Like this is the most metal chamber pop song I think I've ever heard. My paper mercy. Don't rain on it, don't rain on it. Asha's vocals sound really good right here. Of the pussy weapon. Sacral chakra, heaven's thread. It's just flesh, it's just flesh. I can be grotesque, move my body like. What is happening? What are these? What? Like, it's so like smooth, and now we got these other vocals coming in here. Who's doing these other vocals? Unless this is all Ash, but if someone in the comments could let me know, that would be awesome. Who's doing all this like magic back here? So you scared of me now, huh? Sounds so epic. Eyes in the skies crying geysers, and just the way it like reverbs into the next notes, and it's so just like it's just tuned a certain way and sung a certain way. It's just so pretty yet dark and brooding and kind of like spooky. Like it's a metal like atmosphere chamber pop song. Like God, I don't know, it's just so cool. Oh, this is cool. I'm saving this one. That bass though. Why is this? Hold on. That was awesome. So you got all these like synths, like these trickling high synths, these low synth pads, making this big, like ethereal sounding like soundscape. And then these deep vocals coming in, Ash kind of doing the main hook, and just this melodic mess of just really moody stuff happening here. This has got to be like, I mean, the whole album's just been all over the place, right? But this has got to be like the prettiest song on the album. Like, I need just a big like lo-fi loop of this for like meditation or just for like relaxing. Like, this is just so cool. I literally love it. Let's bleed it right into track 13, Dying Star, featuring Ethel Cain. You guys have been wanting me to check out Ethel Cain, so this might be an introduction into the Ethel Cain rabbit hole. Let's just find out. Oh, it's so good. I'm liking these like clean guitars coming in, and then also this reversed vocal atmosphere coming in. I think it's really pretty.
The ground reaches out to catch me softly in her baseball mitt. I'm tired of the dirt and grit. I want something soft.
That's probably the most on pitch and the most like not reliant on the tuning. Like, obviously the auto tune is still on this song, but that's probably the like least reliant I've heard Ash singing in terms of like needing it to sort of keep her voice there. I actually think Ash has a really good singing voice, and I think that here she's kind of letting that open up a bit more and kind of be a little less disguised by the sort of aggressive, sarcastic persona that she has across this album. And so far, that's what I'm liking about this song. Let's see how it continues, because we might get surprised. But so far, I'm liking that this kind of feels like a more vulnerable song in comparison to everything else that we've heard up until this point.
I'm a fish in a bucket dashing. He tried to take me out. Hooks in my mouth. Listen to me when I
you hear that
say
piano up there?
ouch. I want something soft. So I give into the fall.
Wow.
Something soft. Down feathers over us.
Is that Ethel Cain? Because that sounds different than Ash. Is that Ethel Cain? If so, I'm gonna have to check out some Ethel Cain, because that is a really cool sounding voice, and I would like to hear it on its own. Wait, hold on. Are you hearing that in the right headphone? The little it's like a little major melody. I think that's Ash doing that, but I love the way it's processed, how it's kind of dragged over to the right a little bit, giving it some sort of studio space or some stereo like sort of spatial effect to it.
It felt like a god, how she held me. I slept on her shoulder. I gave her my heart.
Those pianos. I love how it's just big. Like, across this whole album, the bass has just been like a ginormous part of like the glue for the sound. But even on these like ballads, on both Possession of a Weapon and this song, it's just this big river of just Reese bass. Oh.
Fire paths of will. nobody's captive.
Wow.
I asked him not to kill me politely. He drained my magic core, bottled up at the source. I washed upon the sea glass shores. I'm nobody's captive.
The way that the chords go down at that moment and the way that the main melody just kind of goes dun, 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 feels so pretty. I didn't expect to really find anything pretty on this album, but this song right here is beautiful. I love the way that it's orchestrated. I love the way that Ethel Cain kind of adds something to it as well, but also Ash, like I said earlier, just opens up just in terms of lyricism, vulnerability, the persona that she's given us on this album of just the I don't give a F and I just don't care about anything and screw you kind of mentality has kind of gone out the window at this point. And I think it's such a nice change of pace. It's a nice transition for sure.
It felt like a gosh, how she held me. I slept on her shoulder, I gave her my all, I bathed in her waterfalls and continue to fall. Burning like a dying star, and they see weeds rooted in my heart, setting a crooked trajectory. The journey here was hard. I was almost pulled apart, trying to leave absorbent to what's left of me. Burning like a dying star, and they see weeds rooted in my heart, setting a crooked trajectory. The journey here was hard. I was almost pulled apart, trying to leave absorbent to what's left of me. Ground reaches out to catch me softly in her baseball mitt. I'm tired of the dirt and grit. I want something soft.
So that was a very unexpected ending for this album. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I love the entire album. I think that each song has some sort of redeemable quality. Sure, some of Ash's lyrical choices sometimes are a bit tongue-in-cheek, or you might not really line up with what they mean, or you might not just kind of understand them that well. But I'd say overall, the album kind of comes full circle. I feel like WEEDKILLER is sort of like a persona, or sort of like a personality, right? It's sort of like a hey, I'm now this toxic sort of being that you've made me because of your actions towards me. So it's more of like a rebellious sort of I hate you type of attitude. And I feel like the music definitely translates that too, with a lot of the tension, a lot of the harmonic minor, a lot of the sort of darker yet very tension-ridden instrumentation and the bass quaking trap beats that are on this, with all the industrial riffs and electronica, coupled with some of the more sensitive moments where it's almost like you're starting to I don't know, it feels like a very poetic thing in a way. It feels like you've kind of gone from this rough character that's slowly trying to open up, and then we have our sort of peak of attitude on Chokehold Cherry Python and WEEDKILLER, and then things slowly start to open up more on Possession of a Weapon and Dying Star, which I think is one of the best songs on this thing. I think it really has this nice energy, this nice vibe. I just couldn't help but sit here and just close my eyes and just experience it, because the chord progression was nice. The melodies were well written. Both Ash and Ethel just kind of did their thing on it. They complemented each other very well with their different vocal ranges. And I think that I feel like Dying Star, and I don't really know a whole lot of Ash's music, but I feel like it's a sound that Ash could probably pursue. I think she really likes going for these big hype, trap, edgy anthems, but I think having more songs like this in her catalog would definitely help give her catalog more versatility and kind of show some sort of hidden skill sets that I believe she has as an artist. I think that This album was quite a surprise. I'm kind of having another Brat moment with it in a way. Like, I liked every song on it. I think that there's some that I didn't like as much. Like, I think Don't Look at It and Super Soaker are probably the weaker parts of the album, but they're also more in between parts of the album as well. Like, even the production kind of leans away from the trap a bit and some of Ash's strengths, and sort of showcases some more different energy that could maybe be probably developed on later releases. And then all of it comes to a head towards the last 2 tracks. And might I say, the last 2 tracks, if I listen to those just one after another, is just an incredible combination of emotions. It really is. And I think that I was very pleasantly surprised listening to this. There were things that I heard that I was like, okay, I expected that. Like, a lot of these, if we go Weed Killer, Cheerleader, Worms, You Make Me Sick, and World Eater, both of those, or all of those songs, were pretty much on par with what I expected because of Paint the Town Blue, but everything else was a complete surprise. So thank you guys for your time, and thank you for recommending this to me. I've been wanting to check it out just on my own for a while, so thanks for giving me the courage to step forward and bravely listen to it. But we braved through it. We found a lot of songs that I want to save and listen to at my leisure. And thank you guys for your time. If you have anything that you want me to check out, feel free to let me know. And also, have a good rest of your day, and I hope to see you next time.